Okay, hello internet. So recently someone made a video full of complete and utter bullshit. Not entirely, but the majority of it was either complete bullshit, just absolute the stinkiest bullshit you can possibly imagine, or it was very one-sided, and I was never consulted. No one came to me asking for my side. I haven't talked to this person since their wedding, and before that had been about since last summer. So I don't know what's going on here. I of course didn't expect this. I feel attacked. I feel plotted against. This was clearly planned and thought through for a very, very long time. But I'm going to let my dogs bark at whatever is walking in front of our window and address her claims. I'm going to do my best to not give anyone any clout from this situation, because it is very apparent to me that many people are trying to do that. And that bothers me, so I'm not going to really play into that. And I'm also not here to tear anyone down. I'm not here to expose anyone. I'm only defending my name. I think I've done a very good job of doing this, and I will continue to do so. But unfortunately, at this point, it does appear as though as soon as I clear my name of one thing, another bullshit accusation comes out. So I guess I will be here for a while. I'm not sure. I've been doing my best to move on. I've been doing my best to learn from this entire situation and move on. I've done a very good job of not allowing my friends or the people around me to manipulate my decisions, and I will continue to do that as well. But for now, let's go through some of her points. I was fortunate enough to be able to have a good friend of mine who watched the video before she deleted it and then blamed me for deleting it, although I did not talk to her about deleting it. I did apologize for some of the things that she said in this video personally. But even when she said she deleted it, the video wasn't deleted, it was just unlisted, so I was still able to look at it. So, interesting. But anyways, I have a bunch of quotes from the video that I'm just going to read to you and then address immediately, and I'm just going to go through these as quick as possible. This is likely going to be 2 parts because there's a whole lot of stinky bull in this video. So, not all of it. You know, I'm not going to lie. Gabrielle and I have fought. I've said things I regret. I've done things I regret. But to suggest that I'm this absolute monster is just disgusting and a total reach and a embarrassing, pathetic, desperate attempt to get some viewership. And then as soon as you start getting it, of course it gets hate, and then you delete the video and then blame me. Very interesting. But that's the most hostility you will get from me in this entire video. But so in the beginning of the video, she says that she knows me well. Besides her wedding that I went to like 6 months ago, I had not seen her since our Dominican Republic trip, which was last summer. So to suggest that we know each other, considering I also only hung out with you a maximum of 5 times over all of high school, to suggest that we know each other well is not true. She then goes on to say that there are so many bad things happening to my ex and basically implies that they're my fault. I don't understand what you're talking about. I was off social media for 4 months. When I came back, I made a video saying I'm alive, made another video only talking highly of Gabrielle, and then made 2 videos saying that I didn't cheat. I was only going to make 1, but then people were still calling me out saying I was lying, so I made another one addressing the fake cheating texts, which I still don't know who did, but as I start to pay attention a little more, it becomes more and more clear who made those texts. I did not spread any rumors. I did not get my friends involved. I did not get my family involved, although I guarantee you my friends and family certainly wanted to be involved, but I've done a very good job of keeping them quiet, keeping them mature and out of this situation, because no one should also be in this situation. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate people sticking up for their friends. I think that's very respectable, but when you do that with no merit and your intentions are pretty obvious and you don't talk to me first, you haven't talked to me in a very long time. I don't know what has changed since the last time I saw you, but when the intentions of this video are so obvious, it's honestly more cringe and annoying than it is actual support for your friend. She then goes on to claim that she never saw me with Gabrielle at parties. I assume she's referring to high school. This is for many reasons, one of which when I'd see you at parties, for one I only saw you like a maximum of 5 times throughout my entire high school experience, but also you went to a different school. My ex didn't have very many friends there. She was also not very social anyways, and her parents were rather strict. We've said this and acknowledged this and brought this up many times over the course of years of making content together. Also, you know this, what the f are you talking about? She then goes on a very long rant about how I did not post a video of us together from 4 years ago. The reason I didn't post this vlog, and I know you know this, but I'm telling the audience this because they obviously don't know this because you did not bring this up in your video, was because when we went to do this vlog. We were with a bunch of people, and the whole point was to give gifts to sick kids. When I say sick kids, I don't mean like, ooh, they have the flu. I'm talking, these kids are going to die, and we were bringing them gifts. And you really want me to put my camera, get them in the background for the thumbnail, say smile? No, I wasn't going to do that. We had this conversation in the car, and that's why I didn't post the video. It seemed wrong. And also, man, you guys tell this guy to stop calling me sometimes, good lord. Also, the guy that set the whole thing up, that wanted us to vlog this, was about to promote music soon, and was basically, in my opinion, trying to use her and I to make a video in order for him to look good, because of course he was in it a lot, considering he was the one that always wanted to carry the gifts. I saw right through that bullshit. It felt wrong. I wasn't gonna post the video. Next, she complains about another video from like 4 years ago that I did with my friend and her friend. So it was us four. So it was my friend, me, her friend. The video sucked, okay? My friend was very uncomfortable. Her friend was very uncomfortable. I had just recently introduced my ex as my girlfriend on the channel. She didn't even want me to do a video with another girl. So at this point, it's just me and her, but she was very loud, very annoying, and only drank pickle juice. And as funny as I guess she considered that, I didn't think it was very funny. I didn't even attempt to edit the video. I didn't realize this was an issue. I honestly forgot about it, and I'm sorry. She implies that the reason I didn't post these videos was because she was a smaller YouTuber, and then also, you know, reiterates multiple times that she doesn't care, yet she's been bringing it up for the last 5 minutes in this video. But the thing is, I was probably 5 times your channel size at the time. I didn't care. I didn't care. I just didn't like the videos that you were in because they weren't good. But later on, whenever I'm literally 10xing your numbers, at this point you are getting about 10,000 views and I'm getting about 250,000 views, so actually 25x. At that point we went to the Dominican and I put you in every single vlog, if I can remember correctly. So if your point is that I was just, you know, this clout hungry, only working with people bigger than me, didn't want to give a shout out to the little YouTuber in town, bullshit. This is then when she starts to talk about how I was supposedly this horrible boyfriend and uses an example of a double date we went on. For one, this was the only double date we ever went on. And I'm going to acknowledge right off the bat that I was pissed off about the entire time we were on this date, because my ex wanted us to get there 30 minutes early. So of course I have no balls, so we were there 30 minutes early, and she proceeded to be there with her boyfriend 45 minutes late. So we sat in the car for over an hour just waiting for them. I'm hungry. We then they finally arrive, we go to take pictures and whatnot, and we were supposed to be vlogging. They weren't. That pissed me off. I felt that was disrespectful since I was told that we would. I now realize that's probably because they had a grudge from 3 years ago at the time when I didn't post a video of her drinking pickle juice and screaming at me and her friend for 15 minutes. So for that, I'm sorry. I really was pissed. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, no, I was just a little, like, I was pissed. I was hungry, I was tired, I felt used in a way, which I felt was fair. I get like that. I've been like that before on multiple occasions. I'm not here to act like I'm some sort of saint, but I'm also not here to, for 1 second, even consider that I might have been this horrible boyfriend that she is trying to imply that I was. She then gets very upset that after we took our pictures and finally went to go get food, Gabrielle paid for my meal. Yes, she did. She paid for my meal. I'm sorry that upsets you. She then brings up our Dominican Republic trip, saying that we were just fighting the entire time. That's not true, obviously. I don't think anyone believed that. I think she's more so trying to say that we fought a lot, which is also not necessarily true. And she says that she heard it in our treehouse. Well, her treehouse was pretty close to ours, so that does make sense. However, we were only in the treehouse in the morning, waking up, and literally to go to bed. I will acknowledge that we did fight a lot on that trip for reasons that were very petty, many of which were my fault. Like, I trashed our treehouse, I didn't flush. The fact that I have to bring this up is just stupid in my opinion. And to suggest that it was just me yelling at my ex while she just sits there with a smile on her face waiting for it to be over is just ridiculous, and you know this. Also, on that trip, I made a lot of good friends, I had a great time, and I still keep in touch with a lot of those people today. So to suggest that I was just this over-sexualizing, abusive boyfriend the entire trip is just absolutely disgusting and ridiculous, and such a reach and such an obvious attempt to destroy someone's reputation for the benefit of someone else so that they can either introduce someone new or start doing YouTube on their own time and have this, you know, humongous praise of everyone, when in reality you are just on someone that has been going through the worst time of their life. I'm trying to figure out how I want to word this. Because I have stayed quiet, because I have taken the high road, because I haven't gotten all these people involved, I come off as extremely vulnerable. That's not true. I shouldn't be seen this way. I should be seen as a human being that's just trying to move on. I have made mistakes. I plan to acknowledge those, but to simply suggest that I was this horrible, abusive boyfriend on this trip and all the time, it's just... No, that's not true, but I don't know how I'm supposed to go about explaining this besides saying, like, f you, you know what I mean? This is the last point I'm going to touch on, and then I'm going to do a part 2 because my freaking internet is not going to, because I'm at my house right now, my internet is not going to be able to upload a 40-minute video. I already tried that, didn't work. So she then goes on to say that I'm a businessman and that I only care about money. So this is what bothered me the most of the entire video. So yes, I am a businessman. She then goes on to say that I only care about money and I do not care about my audience. That's not true. That's never been true. I think I've made that obvious to the people around me and to the people that watch our content over the course of many, many, many years, both by what I say, the way I act, and the decisions I've made in business and just in general. So I'm not going to really try to go on a huge rant about that. But she then lies and says that I told her that I didn't care about the views, or I didn't care about the fans. I only cared about the views, and that I only wanted to make money. As the incredible businessman you claim I am, and I also acknowledge that I truly am, an intelligent businessman would never in their right mind ever tell a bunch of YouTubers around them that they don't care about their audience. So for one, that's just bullshit. Two, I never said that anyways. I never even think that way. I literally spent 4 months away from everything. So to suggest that I only care about money is ridiculous, considering I didn't post a single video or a sponsorship for 4 months. I think my intentions are pretty clear at this point. And also, if it bothers you that I put mid-rolls in my videos defending my name after I've been attacked for 4 months, and you're upset that if I click and I can triple my revenue and perhaps buy a boat for the lake one day, if that upsets you, go f yourself. I'm sorry that it upsets you so bad that you felt the need to sit here and attack me and lie blatantly about things I've supposedly said when in fact I never said that. And I would encourage you to find someone else that was around, because there were certainly a lot of people around that will also say that I said that, because I keep in touch with quite a few of them, and I highly doubt they'd be willing to lie for your cause. Okay, so admittedly this is bothering me quite a bit more than I intended it to. So I would like to point out the fact that I did YouTube on multiple channels, multiple different types of videos for 5 years without making a dollar. I also did Twitch, and when you're the only person and you're so young doing this around town, everyone knows about it and everyone has an opinion, and I have a feeling that the person that made this video attacking me understands what it's like to be made fun of, considering she's literally been made fun of by PewDiePie. So to suggest that you don't know this, you don't know my history, since you've lived around here, you know this, and to suggest that you don't relate to this and that you don't understand what I've been through, what I've done to get to the point that I'm at, to just blatantly lie about something I never said, multiple things I never said, would never be stupid enough to say in the first place, is very offensive. And I don't know why you felt the need to do that. That's going to be the end of this one. I'm about to film the second part. I didn't mean to get so aggressive and angry, but as you can imagine, as a human being, when you're attacked without expecting it by people you haven't talked to in so long and think that they know the story, it's rather frustrating, as you can imagine. It's very frustrating, and it hurts, and it has f***ed me up pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I appreciate you making it to this point in the video. Part 2 will be posted probably right after this one, depending on how long it takes me to, or if more so just how long it takes me to sit my ass down and just get this over with, because I just don't see this ending. I mean, every time I come out and I say something like, hey, no, this didn't happen, there's this new accusation, and some of them are just absolutely ridiculous to the point where I don't even feel like I need to address them, but it's like maybe I do, because I almost feel like if I don't, it's like saying I did it, but at the same time, that's what they want me to do. There's no winning in this situation, and I really wish that we could just move on and go forward like I thought we were the 4 months before I came back to YouTube. It wasn't until I came back to YouTube that everyone decided I was this absolute horrible monster of some kind. But I will continue to not get my friends and family involved. I will continue to be positive and look towards the future, because I'm excited for the future for the first time in a very long time. I would also like to say that I appreciate everyone around my ex, and although I don't think that you are a very good influence, but I would say that I appreciate what you're trying to do by helping Gabrielle through this time. This whole situation has been blown way out of proportion, and it's clearly being used for people's benefit, and I cannot believe it. That sucks. But I'm only going to defend my name when I need to, or when I feel like it's appropriate, and then continue to work on moving on. But I obviously won't be able to yet. So. All right, welcome back to part 2 of my video addressing a video. So if you haven't seen part 1, it really doesn't matter, because the majority of this is totally pointless, and there's no structure, no order, or really anything besides me saying this didn't happen. And yeah, so I mean, I wish I could make this drama a little more interesting, but unfortunately I cannot. So I'm just going to begin. If you haven't watched the first one, you might want to, just because it might make better sense, because I sort of explained the situation a little better, and I don't feel like doing that again. My dogs are all asleep, so I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to actually talk without them barking. So the next point that she makes is her saying that I don't give two craps about my ex and I breaking up, and that I fake cry in videos. For one, I can't fake cry in videos. I've never been able to. If I could, I would have certainly done so. That's like an awesome skill for a YouTuber to have, and unfortunately I didn't. My ex certainly did. She was very good at it. Congratulations. You know this though. I know that you know this. My self-worth was in my ex. My whole future was planned with my ex right by my side. I was an absolute wreck. Everyone that was around me knows I was an absolute wreck. I don't like to talk about it. It's very difficult. But to suggest that I didn't care about losing the girl I was with for 5 years is absolutely disgusting. When someone is so low going through this, despite what you think you know or what you don't know or what you do know, to say that with the intentions of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people to see it and then side with you and attack the person that you're talking about is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I cannot believe you would do this. Also, the first 3 months of this whole break turned break up, all the posts by my ex were about how happy she was, and then sponsors. Mostly sponsors, like literally every day, but they were all about being happy. Why am I not allowed to do this as well? Also, my ex literally made a video about how to be happy, and I'll be honest, it didn't work. I was still very miserable. So to suggest that I'm this bad guy for not being miserable, although I was, but I certainly didn't feel the need to, you know, call you and let you know, or something. Like, I don't know what even the point of this was, besides to blatantly attack me and get people to dislike me for absolutely no reason. And when I say no reason, I mean this reason. I don't mean I haven't been mean to Gabrielle on occasion. I haven't acted out of line. I haven't said things that I don't regret. Like, I've certainly have. That I have regret. I do regret. My bad. I've said things that I regret. I've done things that I regret. This happens. Unfortunately, it was happening too often, and that's why we broke up, or at least that's one of the reasons we broke up. But to suggest that I didn't care about this whole thing was such a disrespectful, disgusting reach that I know you know isn't true. So this is the next point that I think most people are interested in, and it's been twisted to make me look like this manipulative monster that made my ex do everything for me, and I just forced her to do everything. This is certainly not true. I think that's obvious to most people, but unfortunately there are people that believe this. But my ex did buy her car. That video was in a way manipulative and a lie, and I'm sorry. But the plan all along was that I would inevitably buy myself a car, which has arrived at this point, and my ex was supposed to supposedly surprise me with it. Is it fake? Yes, I'm sorry that that upsets everyone. I understand why, but I enjoyed making that kind of content. My ex enjoyed making that kind of content, and it is also very difficult, if not impossible, to actually buy someone a car, get it insured, get all the information ready without having to communicate with them. I'm sorry that that ruins a lot of videos for you guys, but that's just the truth. I'm not ashamed by this. I'm not embarrassed by this. The video was great. I thought it was very motivational and emotional, but I would also point out that it wasn't my idea to do that. And it was certainly agreed upon. And there was a lot of fake crying in that video, and it certainly wasn't me. She then goes on to talk about how I was manipulative just in general, and the more that I think about this, the more I've had time to process this whole situation and think about my past. I do realize that in a way I was manipulative pretty often. It wasn't like I was waking up in the morning saying, oh, I'm going to manipulate my future wife gone wrong, but I certainly was manipulative to an extent and in a sense, but it wasn't like I was forcing her to do all these things. I certainly wasn't. There have been occasions where I would be like, no, we need to do this, or no, you need to get over here because we need to film this video. That would happen. That's business. That's me being a businessman. I'm sorry. Like even the car video, the surprising my future wife with a car video that you now know was in a way fake, but she was excited to film it. We were excited to film it. I loved editing it. We were excited to post it. We were literally laying in bed together reading the comments like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like there was never this, oh, we got them, money, money, money. Like no, that doesn't happen. We don't act that way. We literally just saw it as like this motivational part of our life that we wanted to make more interesting because that's what YouTubers do. I think I've given that too much thought or too much attention. She then just says I'm mean on videos. The thing is, when I'm filming and editing them and then posting them, that normally implies that I didn't think that I was being mean. That also basically implies that I was aware of what was being posted. So from my perspective and my ex's perspective and our audience's perspective, I wasn't being mean. I was never made aware that this was the popular opinion. I do remember a while back my ex pranked me, and then after that I got hate because it was basically this video of her wearing a scandalous outfit. I didn't like it. I was like, what the heck? And then people thought I was this, you know, overly controlling, abusive boyfriend because of that, and that was weird for me. I acknowledged it. I recognized that I could have said things differently and I need to act better. I did get better, obviously not good enough, but my sense of humor is not like most people's, and although I do recognize I have room to improve and room to mature, I know that most people on the internet, when they watch a video apologizing, they expect, you know, apology, 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 and then a little bit of crying and the camera turns off, but no, fuck you, this is my personality, and I, although can mature and can be better, to suggest that I was this mean, horrible person when you've known me long enough to know that's not true is ridiculous, and especially to say that I'm like that on video, because now I know that this was your intention, but now people will go back, watch the video and say, oh, I can totally see that he was this mean monster, which in reality isn't true. And I know that I keep calling myself this monster and mean, and you probably don't have the context as to why I'm acting like it was so dramatic, but if you were to watch the video, for the people that managed to see it, like, you'd think I was the Antichrist. I've also acknowledged this when we did the scandalous video and I posted it, edited it, and people did not approve of the way I was acting. I literally made a video, very genuine, I was clearly upset, very embarrassed, very ashamed, and I apologized for this and promised to get better, which I did. Not good enough, as I've already said, but to once again suggest that I am just this mean person in videos with the intention of people going back and rewatching our content and saying, oh, I noticed this and this, I never noticed this before, oh my gosh, he is so horrible, was a pretty below the belt business move or YouTuber move, in my opinion. She then goes on to say that I only loved my ex for her body and that I would just sexualize her in thumbnails and in videos. No, I didn't. I would hype my girlfriend up because she was extremely attractive and beautiful, and I thought so, and I knew everyone else thought so, and also she was rather quiet, so when I'd hype her up, it would give her more confidence in the videos and around people in general. Also, I was never made aware that this bothered her, and as her boyfriend, I will continue to do that and continue to say exactly whatever I feel like saying until she tells me it's not okay, which she never did. So if that bothers you, I am sorry, but it certainly didn't bother anyone else, and it's never been made apparent, or I've never been made aware that this was bothering anyone else or making them uncomfortable. And if it was, I really wish that you had told me years prior rather than waiting to try to ruin my reputation with this ridiculous reach. Also, I don't make the thumbnails. I take them after getting them approved by my ex, and then my ex makes them. So I would argue it's not me doing that to her, it was her doing that to her, and she had the intent of getting the video views. I'm sorry that I was not the only businessman in the relationship, and I'm sorry that that upsets you, but I also recognize that you knew this. We've talked about this, she's talked about this with you, so to come out and say that I sexualized my girlfriend, and then your proof is literally just absolute dog shit bullshit, the smelliest bullshit I've ever heard, is gross. It's disrespectful. It's making me upset. She then goes, I don't know if Jack likes me. I had no problem with you. I thought we were friends. I thought we were cool. I thought your family and I were cool, considering they literally invited me to their wedding and I haven't seen them since then. And then she goes on to talk about how I was disrespectful at her wedding, and I've apologized about this to her. I didn't realize that the way I was talking or the things I was saying were offensive and disrespectful. That's my fault. I totally acknowledge that. I should have never said those things.